the backpack food program, which we raised a lot of money last year towards that. So we got another kind of letter in the mail, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's really hard to read. And but it's a neighbor. We for this festival send out letters to all the residents in the neighborhood and giving them a free ticket, and just kind of letting them know, giving them a heads up, and apologizing for the inconvenience, the usual good customer service thing. Well, I think this woman has like 3 illegal units in the backyard because she wants 3 free tickets because there's other families living there. Anyway, so I'll send a nice letter to her and just let her know, but thanks for asking. But it kind of tickled me as far as customer service. And back in the olden days when I was working with the Boy Scouts and we had a summer camp, we had a camp in those days, and I got turned on to the old In Search of Excellence program, Tom Peters, and how to use that in training our camp staff to be receptive to customer service. Because if you're a member of a summer camp staff, by the time the kids get there, you're crabby, and you're not in a good mood, and you've been working all summer to get ready for this, and suddenly these leeches are there. And so we tried to train our camp staff members to, and the Tom Peters thing comes out of the Disneyland story when you're upstairs in your costume, you're that person. When you're in character, it doesn't matter what you're doing. When you're downstairs, you can let your hair down, so to speak, and relax a little bit, but you're kind of always on for the customers. And so we had these kids at camp trained, they did a really good job of it, of whenever a kid walked by would be, how's it going? No, we couldn't talk about that. How's it going? You having a good time? Anything you need? And just move on. But there's that one contact that brings people back. So what we just asked you to do this weekend, we are doing, somewhere here, we're doing name tags for all of us and the other volunteers, but these are the ones you will all get when you come in on Saturday morning at the gate by the pool, and the customers will learn that this is who represents the club. So if you're walking by and you see someone who's looking either not happy or a little PO'd or something, just go up to them and say hello and see how they're doing, anything you can do. That will buy us more credit, more credibility with our clients than anything else we can do. And then at the end of the day, as people are leaving, for those of us who are there at the end of the day, same thing. As they're going out that gate, as they're packing up, just thank you for coming, ask if they had a good time, build this thing up, because this is going to be an exciting weekend. We've been doing this for a lot of years, and this is getting very exciting. I think we're going to have a great time with it. But when you're wearing this, you're above that basement at Disneyland, and you're on stage. So smile, be happy to people. Not that we aren't always, and just make them feel good about being there, because we're thrilled they're there. We couldn't make this happen without them. Yes, sir, Jim.
I had an experience yesterday with a friend at the bank, and I said, "Are you coming to Cajun?" He said, "Well, it's a little pricey." I said, "Well," so $25. He was hesitating to come because of the fee, and I said to him, and I think it's important that we all do this to underscore it's all going back to the community. I think that's a key factor. Is sure, maybe they're paying a little more than they would pay for something.
A free concert.
Yeah, free, that's about it.
But if we relate to them all of the good things that money's going to go for, it
and another thing is 9 hours of free stuff.
Yeah, that's Jim, that's a really good point, because we do get that at the gate. $25, one, or $30, one. But when you say, yeah, but it's for charity and it's going back to the community, that's all you have to say, they change. Oh, okay, and they happily pass over their money. Because it's not just $25 to go, it's $25 to get in the gate. And they're going to have to buy a couple of beers and get to eat, so it can add up.
$25 feeding kids.
Yeah,
$25 going towards rebuilding the greenhouse that got smashed by the storm this year.
And this is an audience, and a lot of folks come from out of town. And those who come from out of town, Rotary exists in those communities too. So we can talk in very general terms about the types of things all Rotary clubs do. For example, the greenhouse is a great example. Our continuation high school had a great greenhouse, was destroyed in the storm last year. We're rebuilding it for those things.
International projects in Ecuador.
Well, I was just going to say, This is not necessarily a crowd that wants to hear about international projects. What they're going to want to hear about is what we did for Katrina relief. We're going to get questions about Houston relief, which we should talk about before we get over there on Friday. And just communicate that we do stuff to go back into the community. It's really important. So I have made one of these up for everybody, including the folks who I know aren't going to be there, and then Bill can do with these what he wants next week. So here's the first one I'll get to. You want to talk to that guy?
Marty Webb.
That like $20 for Marty?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, yes.
I have a contractor working at my house at Tahoe. I have to be there.
That was your excuse for something else last month.
Last time I had surgery. I'm sorry.
Is that Gus? You're out to get it. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty.
This will be a warning to the rest of you. It'll be $10. No. Thanks, Marty.
Judy had a question for you.
Yes, Judy.
No, it's not a question. I just want to emphasize something you said. I think it's a great idea to tell people it's going back, but don't tell them it's going back into the community. Have a specific thing. This helped fund projects like the greenhouse or like the food campaign, etc. Going back into the community is
too generic. Too generic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why I brought up those two specifics.
Yep.
If everyone will just remember those two things, kids' backpack lunches over the weekend and greenhouse project, two immediate things that are ongoing. And
Christmas dinner.
Christmas dinner.
40 turkeys, 40 hams.
Thank you, Kathy.
Club. I neglected to bring our t-shirts that Gay had made, so I'm going to go get them now and bring them back. And so if anybody wants them, then we'll have time to do them today. I'll go do that now. One thing I wanted to mention was the Friday night show at the Gravestein Grill is free. I don't know if anybody has said that. It's free, so you got no good excuse. Okay, I'll be right back.
But don't tell paying customers that there's a free show on Friday night. Because we want them on Saturday morning. So volunteering and staffing this thing. I want to thank y'all. I know it's kind of a naggy job. Yes, Gabe? Yeah.
The music is free, but one would hope you might buy some food.
Yes,
So
or at least
you
a
are
grant.
just walking in and using their chairs and tables to listen to music.
Good point. So volunteering and staffing this thing. It's the last 6 weeks we become kind of naggy and send a lot of emails about encouraging folks to just, you got to step forward and volunteer. And we have. There's a few who have been kind of excused, or at least told me that they were excused. And we understand that not everyone is able to come, but the vast majority of us are there at one point doing something to make this thing work. And we still need a few more slots to fill, and I have some information sheets over there, and you'll get a couple more emails, and the more people you can just forward those to about volunteering, going onto that website and picking a slot, the better off we'll all be. Sunday afternoon is when we kind of really seem to be in the doldrums as far as people are concerned, but this is Rockabilly Day. I think it's going to have a good crowd, so we're going to need to have close to a full contingent of staff. Saturday we're within, I think, 10 or 12 people of being full on Saturday, so that's great. So thank you all for that. It's pretty exciting. And I think that's all I have.
Okay.
Gary, I have a question. Are you guys going to be there tonight? Peacetown and Rotary going to be there?
Yes.
Okay, you might want to do a sign-up sheet for volunteers because Mr. Music did send an email blast to all the left choir and on Facebook about volunteers needed.
And I saw that last night, and I sent Wanda a little cleaner thing that had where we needed help and how to sign up. But no, we will have all that at the table tonight. Great. Who's next?
Jerry, would you like to talk about the alcohol situation?
He's a fan. We know that.
Sorry, Jerry.
One other comment about folks when they are leaving. One of the last things we can do for them as they're leaving, they all got bans for being able to get alcohol. Either adult one or a kid one that identifies them as legal or not legal. As they're leaving, hey, can I cut that off for you? Just a small thing. It allows you to take their hand and carefully cut it off, and at the same time say, hope you had a great time. It's just an opportunity to make that personal contact, look them in the eye, and say, hope you had a great time, come on back next year. So, that's it.
Okay. So we have a beer and wine trailer and a hurricane and margarita booth. And the beer and wine, because we get the beer donated, is one of our major sources of income. And so it's going to be warm, we'll sell a lot of beer, and everybody will have a good time. So thank you for all the people that have signed up to work in the beer and wine or the hurricane booth. I sent out an email a while back with a link for the responsible beverage service training. And I know some of you have taken it. I took it again this year, and it's very interesting. We do have a responsibility to make sure that the people that we serve are at least 21 years old. Things like, you learn things like, even if they have an adult wristband and they look young, ask for their ID again if you're working in the booth there. We have had a decoy with the police come in that he was underage but had an adult wristband, and fortunately he looked like a little kid. And I asked for his ID, and the police said, "Oh, you did a good job by doing that." So it's a lot of fun. The people that are at the gate, that are the initial ID checkers, you want to, not a bad idea to take that training as well, because they give you ideas about how to verify someone's age. And you're the first line of checking for the IDs. And so there is a sheet that Michael, who's the gate guy, will have on tips for checking IDs. So we'll have some help there for you. If you have any questions, just like...
Not a question, but a comment. I will say that I took that training, and the #1 thing I got out of that is it's all on you if you let somebody in and they drink and they create a habit of some sort. They're coming after your house, your assets, your organizations, your assets. So,
Thank you, PJ.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I'm scared, but that's where it's at.
We just now lost all our volunteers.
Truth. Yes, Truth.
We offer attorney at law liability.
We do have, our club has a humanitarian liability to make sure that people are not overindulging. I don't want to get in, make it too big of a deal, but there's a responsibility that we have, and we've done a great job in the past. We've never had an incident, and I'm sure we'll have a great job again with all the fine volunteers we've had. Any other questions?
Okay, Michael, you want to talk a little about square training?
We'll have a little session right now with the lead people. So Minton and myself and Terry Kelly and I think Brian Purcell is also going to be on the gates with us at least part of the time. So we'll be working with the volunteers at the gates, because not everybody doing that is in this club, for example. But anybody who'd like to know about working the Square application, and convene with me and the leads, as we'll go over right now with the devices that we've brought. So we've got iPads, and we'll make sure it all actually works for you. But that's not the only role at the gates. The other one is the ID check and giving out wristbands, and also just helping people as they come up in the line. If they've pre-bought tickets, they can come to the front and get scanned. We have little scanners on our iPhones that can check you off the tickets that they bought. So we read the little barcode on there. We've got some practice ones. So those are the things that we need help with, and that's what we'll be using. Any questions?
Yeah, we'll be checking where people are coming from, and a little marketing background, and what brought them there, like we did last year. Filling out those.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
That was nice. It was a great way.
Did you like it, Michael? I mean, we got some tallies. I'm not sure it actually.
It was amazing to see what people came.
It was fun.
If we do it, we need to keep them.
yeah. Last year, a lot of them got
They never got turned in.
If we do that, and it's a good idea, we need to know before Saturday morning, and someone needs to take care of it. Someone needs to organize it, and we'll put it at the gate.
I will take care of that.
You have enough to do.
Your president.
60 other people here.
Other duties. But yeah, we have the tally sheets from last year. We'll just hand them out at the gate. So each gate will have a box full of goodies, and among them are the directions and an example of the neighbor letters that we sent out, so we know what they actually look like, and what to expect and how to check them.
Real quick, I was just going to make an observation. I was working the gate last year, and I was checking IDs. And the most important part if you're there is to have fun with it. So I literally had 65-year-old ladies, and I'm like, are you sure you're 21? Everybody gets a good laugh, but it lets everybody in line behind that person know you're seriously looking at IDs for everybody that's coming in. We had a couple of people meander off, and they realized they weren't going to walk through. But if you have a lot of fun with it, Bob Rogers was up there checking to see where people were from for it. He was just working the line as people were coming in. He gets everybody fired up. So the big thing is just have a good time with it. People come to our laugh and have a good time. So even when you're doing your job, have a good time with it.
Absolutely. Good. Thank you.
There are a couple of kinds of tickets that you will see coming through the gate. You'll have printed tickets that came off the computer that people bought ahead of time. They'll have a barcode on them that we'll be scanning. The other tickets that you'll be seeing are tickets that we printed up ourselves. And those are tickets that went out to the sponsors, went out to the radio stations, and in some cases were being sold by Pacific Market and Forest Hill Pharmacy and People's Music. So we want to hold on to those because I've written on the back of each ticket where they came from, and I want to be able to track that information. So as those come in, please save our tickets.
Okay, there'll be a little box to put the tickets in at each gate.
Okay.
Yeah, forgive me if I missed this, but in addition to asking them where they're from, do we ask them how they heard about the festival?
Yeah.
We did. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sound like a volunteer.
Nick?
If somebody has a 2-day ticket from Brown Paper Tickets,
yes,
and it's Saturday, do you take that ticket? Do you mark on it? What do you do with it?
You take this ticket, you scan it, and you put it in the box, and then you give them a ticket for Sunday. We'll have a supply of Sunday-only tickets.
One of our
I have a Brown Paper ticket, physical ticket, not that.
Okay.
Right?
We didn't
and
print
so
it.
it is a 2-day ticket, so I should take that ticket to the gate and give them a Sunday ticket?
Yes.
Sounds right to me.
If they come with a 2-day, we'll take their slip of paper and we will give them one of our tickets that we printed for the second day.
Thank you.
And there'll be tickets at the gate. As of right now, that's only about 50 or 60 people that bought two tickets.
Jim?
I just got a quick question for Michael. Michael, where did you find the 2 women?
Where what?
Where did you find the 2 women that found all the sponsors?
Karen Vita Brooks has been active in the community for a number of years, has worked with the Arts Center over the years, and is a fundraising specialist.
Yellow pages.
Matt? Our Cajun Supreme Commander, do you have any?
Just thank you all for rallying around.
Give him the mic. Mike, give him the mic. Give him the mic. Mike. Let go of the mic, Mike.
Thanks for rallying around. A couple more days left. There's so many people that have contributed to the effort. And we're almost there. It's always always a joyous event. And I see Scott bringing in the t-shirts there, so that's something good also to promote the festival. I do have tickets, if anyone thinks they can sell tickets, and I can share those tickets with you. We have postcards and flyers on the table over there. And I'm available to answer any questions. You can email me, call me. I'm around. I will be here and on the ground through the festival. And there's one last thing that I'm asking for. Okay? One last contribution, one last effort, and that is I seriously would ask someone to think about catching me when I do a stage dive, okay? I need some volunteers. Don't have to say yes now, but think about it.
Like catch you when you're falling off the stage?
That's right.
Are you going to be drinking too much?
No.
Okay, all of
This is sample, do we have to dress like you?
all of the folks that are going to be working either the entry gates or any place where they're taking Square, gather around here for Michael's training on using Square and ticket sales and all that kind of stuff. And other than that, if we have raffle. We'd like to, we don't have a speaker. Catherine, would you do us the honor of choosing our raffle ticket? Yes. And by the way, as of last week, there was $152 in the pot. So if you would just randomly pick one.
8437.
And read the last 4 digits. Sure, okay. 8439.
Oh! Whoa! So close.
Thank you, Kevin.
58.
How
Marty?
many aces you got left in there? None.
Think of a new line.
If you pull it, it's a
Good line.
Oops. Ooh, tennis spade, so close, so close. Tennis diamonds. Yes, and the
Jim. Jim Patera.
Jim Patera, thank you. And
Basket?
we'll cover it next week. Jug of the day, yes. Citizen Scott.
I'm ready.
Give my mic.
This is going to be hilarious. Being Cajun Day, there had to be a Cajun joke. And I don't do dialects, so you got to pretend that I'm sounding very Cajun. Okay, let's hear an aye. Aye. This is called Boats for Sale. Thibodeau marches up to Boudreaux, front porch, and raps hard on the door, and Boudreaux opens it. Thibodeau says, "Boudreaux, how long we been friends?" Boudreaux said, "Well, all our lives, Thibodeau." Thibodeau said, "Why don't you tell me you got a boat?" Boudreaux, I'm still breathing hard from all that work. Boudreaux says, "I ain't got no boat." Thibodeau said, "The sign say, boat for sale." Boudreaux said, "Oh no, Thibodeau. See that old 72 Ford pick-em-up truck over there?" Thibodeau said, "Yeah, I see that pick-em-up truck." And Boudreaux said, "You see that 76 Chevrolet sedan over there?" And he said, "Yeah, I see that sedan." And Boudreaux said, "Well, they both for sale." Give it up.
Okay.
20 bucks.
2 books for sale, 20 bucks. And for those not staying around for the Square training, we are adjourned.
Who picked it up?
Trails to you until we meet again. Trails to you.